All righty then. Welcome back, everybody. My name is John Boggs. I'm the founder of the Business and Leadership Division of the Brave Thinking Institute, where I also serve as CEO. I want to welcome you to Monday Morning Mindset, where transformational leaders gather to set their intentions, to set our minds on what would it look like to have an amazing week. One concept, one principle that we can all use this week to create amazing results. You see, because that's what transformational leadership's about. It's to transform, to move form from one set of results into a whole new set of results that you would love more of. So as I think about setting my own intention this week, there are some things that I would love to hold in mind that are the result. When I look back at the end of the week and say, what kind of week did I have? Did I have a good week? Or did I have a bad week? So see if these ideas resonate with you. Think about today being Monday. You're in a Monday morning mindset right now. You're holding an intention. I want a week where when I look back, I was highly productive. How many of you want that? Give a thumbs up if you want a highly productive week. A week where you look back and you see that you accomplished the things that you've been wanting to get done for a long time and yet haven't gotten across the finish line. A week where you look back and you were highly effective in your decision making. A week where when you look back, you were incredibly influential and you made a difference for someone that you lead. Hello, maybe even yourself. In other words, someone that maybe was looking at things in a disempowering way, and yet by your influence, they began to see things in a whole new way. They began to go from what they couldn't do to what maybe they could do more of. These are the results when I look back on my week that I want to be holding, that I made a difference in someone's life, that I accomplished a lot. Give me a thumbs up if you want these things for your week. That I look back at the sales results, the revenue results, the expense results, the profit results in my business, and I say this was a successful week. This is what it means to me to put out an intention today for what I would love. I want a week that's easy and flowing, where things come to me in a way that feels light and fun, and I have a good time. I enjoy my leadership week. These are the intentions that I'm setting today that you can set. What is your intention? Share with me what's the intention that you're holding for your week. Okay, so that's the purpose of Monday Morning Mindset for Transformational Leaders. Today we're studying the second law of leadership. There are 7 fundamental principles that are not deeply studied in most leadership programs, and yet over the next few weeks I'm meeting with a private group and we're diving into these 7 hidden laws of leadership. We did the first lesson last week, and I'm sharing with you the basic principle or concept that we're studying, so that you can find out more about it and put it to use in your own life in whatever way serves you. So, law number 2 is the law of distorted reality. And it states this: reality is defined in the mind of the leader. Decide and lead from the intended result. You know, the fundamental basis for this law comes from Albert Einstein and the theory of relativity, where he says the perspective that you're holding affects what you believe to be real. It starts out with him saying, if I'm riding a bicycle at the speed of light alongside of a train, what appears to be real to me and what appears to be real from the person's from the other perspective actually is different. And the question is, which one is actually real? So when you begin to understand that what we believe to be real, the reality, quote unquote, that we're living in, is made up in many ways by the perspective that we're holding. It's actually, in the theory of relativity, it's made up of 2 things. It's the perspective that you have and the speed or the motion at which you're moving. Those affect what you believe to be real. What we know today, because that was a long time ago, what we know today, there are many other aspects that absolutely affect what you think is real and what isn't real. And in modern times, what we've come to understand is actually what you believe to be real, and then the actions that you take based on that belief, literally change what is real. You have the ability to help form what is real. And one of the greatest business leaders that understood this was Steve Jobs, literally in his business. His other executives talked about Steve having a reality distortion field. He had a set of things that he believed were real. He went about infusing that belief of what was real in all of the people that he worked with, and they began to believe just maybe the vision that he was holding in his mind was possible. Maybe he could shift reality. And as they began to work on that, it literally changed the results. The vision that he held in his mind became the reality that he was living. One of the things that he said in one of his interviews that sticks with me to this day was, when you figure out, at some point in your life, when you figure out that the world has been made up by people no smarter than you, your life will forever be changed. You get to make it up. Make it up however you want it to be. I'm just finishing a great leadership book right now by former Navy SEAL David Goggins. Can't Hurt Me. In there's a moment where he has a dream of being a Navy SEAL. And yet he's a Special Force Air Force dropout. The SEALs won't take people that have the history or the background that he has, let alone the fact they don't take anybody. The Navy as a whole won't take anyone over 191 pounds. And at this point, he weighs over 300 pounds, and he's nowhere in the kind of shape that it would take to become a Navy SEAL. The reality when he went to the recruiter was, you don't qualify, we won't take you. You'll never be a Navy SEAL. And recruiter after recruiter after recruiter told him that. Until he met one that instead of telling him no, told him what it would take. And he began to shift the reality of his life, moment by moment, day by day, holding a vision. He began to distort reality into the shape that he wanted. It's a great book. Of course, he went on to become a Navy SEAL and did many, many other amazing things in his life. You too can shape reality. So one more time, here's the law. Reality is defined in the mind of the leader. Decide and lead from the intended reality. That is the last part of that. Reality is defined in the mind of the leader. Decide and lead from the intended reality. Today you have a chance to decide on what this week is going to be. What this week is going to mean to you as a leader. Decide now how you want to feel at the end of the week. Decide what greatness looks like. 1 week at a time, Transformational Leader. And make it happen. That's leadership law number 2. I look forward to seeing you back here in 1 week as transformational leaders gather for another Monday morning mindset. Take care and make it a great week.